Well, we're back again to talk about lunch, what we eat. And today we're doing a wonderful, wonderful soup. It's a very quick kale, corn, and white bean soup. I love one dish meals because it's so simple, and all of this can happen in 5 minutes cooking in the Instapot. We'll tell you more about it in a few moments.
Yeah, so lunch for us. So last week we talked about breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, dinner like a pauper. And so a lot of health enthusiasts and a lot of experts say that's the way to get your calories and your bulk in to be the healthiest. I think back to when I was in corporate settings and lunch was this time frame. I had to eat it. And so it was just, let's get it done. Since we've been working at home, we have the time. Lunch is kind of our most involved meal. Breakfast, we have this system wired. It's a really hearty breakfast. We eat plenty, maybe as much as we do for lunch, but it's real different because lunch is our variety meal. Our breakfasts are very similar. We've got our routines. Lunch is very involved. So we prep greens or a big salad and that. We cook this full meal like Connie's talking about, maybe a one dish meal, or maybe it's more involved than that. And it often works to serve us for 2 or 3 days. Connie makes a big batch.
A big pot.
So that even though it takes that time for that initial cooking and prepping, the next couple of days are just warm it and go.
Or I cook greens again. We have a side of greens.
Yeah. Lots of greens.
Yeah.
This is where we get a lot of greens. Yeah, a lot of greens in lunch and dinner. Okay, so we wanted to share with you too how lunch now is a little different, that we're going SOS-free from what it used to be. So one of the things that we've done is we've changed our salad dressings. Connie will make a dressing to go on the greens or on the salad, whatever we're having. And so now we're leaving the oil out and we're making it with a nut base or a sunflower seed base. And we've got lots of oil-free dressings on the website.
Yeah, so take a look because they are so delicious. And what we found with salt, sugar, and oil freedom, it takes a while for your taste buds to adjust. But when they've adjusted, food tastes like I never knew it could taste. It is so sweet and so flavorful. It has a depth of flavor that I've never tasted before. And it's so great for 2 reasons. One, it really supports better health. And 2, salt, oil, and sugar increase the appetite. So they are usually or often a major part of the cause of overweight. So by eliminating them, you don't want to eat as much. And it tastes better than it did before. What's there to complain about?
That's been our surprise. I think that's the biggest concern people have about SOS-free cooking, is that they won't enjoy the meals. They're concerned about the flavor and the enjoyment. And like Connie said, it takes some time to adjust. But we actually enjoy our meals more now than we ever have before.
That's true.
We're tasting flavors that we didn't taste before that were actually masked by these stronger tastes of salt, oil, and sugar. And there's the health benefit, like Connie's saying.
If you have high blood pressure, it's so great to look at SOS-free because it can make a big difference. And as we age, as I learned, which I didn't know, often our blood pressure has a tendency to go up. So there's lots of research and medical doctors who talk about the benefit of SOS-free with blood pressure.
Yeah, so we mentioned one of the things that we do to avoid the oil now is to do the nut or seed dressings. Another thing about oil is when we do baked goods, and one of the easy substitutions for the oil, because the oil will give that baked good kind of a rich and moist quality to it is you can add applesauce or just grated apples. So in our baked recipes that we have, you'll see that we don't have any oil in there anymore, but we have applesauce or apples to provide that extra moisture to the finished product.
Yeah, and they taste so good.
And what about salt? You know, leaving salt out, that's kind of the trickiest one to find a substitute for. So,
well, one great substitute is the spice sumac, S-U-M-A-C, and it has a salty and lemony flavor. So you can use that, or you can use any no salt seasoning that you love. Mrs. Dash makes a lot of them. The one of hers we like the best is extra spicy, because that gives our food a little kick. But also just lemon juice really brings the flavors alive in food.
yeah, so that's what we found to offset what we were accustomed to with the salt is to bring the flavoring up with seasonings, and especially that spicy side, the heat side, jalapeno pepper or red pepper flakes.
Yeah, what I've learned in this journey is there are two things that make it really easy to drop the salt in terms of taste while your taste buds are adjusting. And one is, like Bill says, spicy. So Mrs. Dash extra spicy, or chipotle chili powder, anything that has heat in it really makes a difference. That's one way to swing your food. The other way is sweet. So using sweet vegetables like corn or peas or red pepper or any of the colored peppers, veggies that add a sweet flavor, sweet onion. What else do we do? Oh, I know. Sometimes we'll use a little date paste that Bill makes with whirring up dates and water to sweeten a dish. You know, they'll often say, add a little maple syrup. Well, we go a step further and we use the whole food form of sweetness, which is dates.
Or raisins. Yeah.
Or raisins.
Yeah, that's been our shift. You know, we haven't used refined sugars like sugar or powdered sugar or the cane sugars or the coconut sugars or that. We haven't used those for ages. But we were still using maple syrup. I make a granola with brown rice syrup and molasses and barley malt. And we replaced all of that with, in the dish, it's either dates or raisins or date paste. So we do our granola now with just date paste on there, and we love it.
Yeah, tell them how you make the date paste.
Okay, yeah. So date paste is a simple formula. 1 part dates to 3/4 part water. So if you have a cup of dates, 3/4 a cup of water in a Vitamix, or if it's 2 cups of dates, then it's 1.5 cups of water. So it's a little less than 1 to 1, a little less water makes it a little thicker. If I try to make it too thick in the Vitamix, yeah, the blade just spins, you know, and all the dates just kind of stick to the side. So you got to have enough water in there to get it to fall down into the blades. But yeah, it's roughly 1 to 1.
And then just put it in a glass jar in your fridge. And how long will it last?
7 days, 7 to 10 days is no problem.
Okay.
I know I've had it longer than that, but 7 to 10 is good. Good shot, yeah. Okay.
Now the recipe today is the quick kale, corn, and bean soup, which you can make in your Instapot. It only takes 4 minutes of high pressure. Let it release its pressure naturally, and lunch is ready. You just put canned beans. You can use cannellini beans, corn, a whole bunch of kale, and a red pepper, and an onion, and some garlic that you've minced, and that's it. You plunk it in the pot, turn it to 4 minutes of pressure, and you have lunch. It's great, and it'll last you more than one meal, which I like.
Yeah, that's what we like too. So tomorrow it's just warm it up.
Thanks for joining us.
Great to see you again. Bye for now.